Have you ever encountered someone who felt fundamentally different? Someone who seemed to be missing that spark of genuine connection that makes us human? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most profound and challenging topics in spiritual awakening: how to recognize individuals who may be operating without a soul. According to the groundbreaking work of renowned hypnotherapist and researcher Dolores. This isn't about judgment or fear. It's about understanding the true nature of consciousness and protecting your own spiritual energy in a world where not everyone operates from the same level of authentic being. Throughout her decades of research through past life regression and quantum healing, Dolores uncovered disturbing truths about certain individuals who walk among us, appearing human, but lacking that essential divine spark we call the soul. If you've ever felt confused by someone's behavior, drained after certain interactions, or sensed something was fundamentally off about a person, despite their outward appearance, this video will provide the clarity you've been seeking. We'll explore the 5 unmistakable traits that reveal when someone is operating without a soul, and more importantly, how to protect yourself once you recognize these signs. If you feel aligned with this spiritual awakening, subscribe and activate notifications. Leave in the comments, "I'm ready to evolve spiritually and recognize truth." The concept of soulless individuals isn't new to spiritual traditions, but Dolores extensive research through thousands of hypnotherapy sessions revealed specific patterns that consistently emerged when clients encountered these beings in their past lives and present experiences. Through her work with the Convoluted Universe series and her quantum healing hypnosis technique, she discovered that not every human body houses an authentic soul. According to Cannon's findings, our planet serves as a school for soul evolution, where genuine souls incarnate to learn, grow, and contribute to the collective consciousness. However, she documented cases where certain bodies are inhabited by what she termed artificial souls, or operated by beings without the authentic divine spark that characterizes true human consciousness. These discoveries align with ancient spiritual teachings across cultures that speak of empty vessels, shadow people, or beings that mimic human behavior without genuine spiritual substance. From Gnostic traditions warning of archonic influences to Buddhist concepts of hungry ghosts, humanity has long recognized that not all beings who appear human possess the same spiritual authenticity. Dolores work revealed that these soulless individuals often serve specific functions in the grand cosmic plan, sometimes as catalysts for growth in genuine souls, other times as agents of systems that seek to harvest spiritual energy or maintain lower vibrational states in human consciousness. Understanding this isn't about creating fear, but about developing spiritual discernment that allows you to navigate relationships and interactions with greater wisdom and protection. The challenge lies in recognition, because these individuals have often perfected the art of mimicking human behavior, emotions, and responses. They study genuine souls and learn to replicate what appears to be authentic feeling and connection. However, Cannon's research revealed 5 consistent traits that always give them away to those who know what to look for. Share in the comments an experience where you felt the presence of spiritual guides or sensed something wasn't quite right about someone's energy. The first and most telling trait of someone without a soul is their complete lack of genuine empathy. While they may perfectly mimic empathetic responses, saying the right words, making appropriate facial expressions, even appearing to cry at appropriate moments, their empathy is entirely performative, learned behavior rather than authentic feeling. Dolores discovered through her sessions that genuine souls possess an innate connection to the universal field of love and compassion. This connection allows them to truly feel what others experience, to resonate with pain, joy, fear, and hope in ways that create real emotional bonds. Soulless individuals, however, operate from a fundamentally different programming that lacks this authentic emotional resonance. You'll notice this in subtle ways at first. They might respond to tragedy with textbook-appropriate phrases, but their energy feels hollow. They may offer comfort that sounds right, but leaves you feeling more isolated than before. When someone shares deep pain or vulnerability, a soulless person might respond with perfect words while their eyes remain completely detached, calculating rather than connecting. Their version of empathy is strategic rather than spontaneous. They've learned that certain responses generate specific reactions from others, and they deploy these responses like tools in a toolkit rather than expressions of genuine care. You might notice they seem to access their empathy like consulting a manual, rather than feeling it arise naturally from within. This becomes especially apparent in moments of unexpected emotion. While a genuine soul will spontaneously respond to surprising pain or joy with authentic feeling, soulless individuals often have a slight delay as they access their programmed responses. They might even respond inappropriately because they miscalculated what response the situation demanded. Most tellingly, their empathy never seems to cost them anything. Genuine empathy involves sharing in another's emotional state, which can be exhausting for sensitive souls. But soulless individuals can engage in intensive emotional situations and remain completely unaffected because they're performing rather than actually feeling. The second unmistakable trait is their relationship with truth and deception. According to Dolores research, individuals without souls have a fundamentally different relationship with honesty than genuine souls do. For them, truth and lies are simply tools to achieve desired outcomes, with no moral weight or spiritual consequence attached to either. This manifests in several distinct ways. First, they lie effortlessly and without the physiological stress responses that typically accompany deception in genuine souls. They don't experience guilt, anxiety, or the energetic burden that comes with betraying truth. This allows them to maintain elaborate deceptions with remarkable consistency because they feel no internal pressure to confess or correct their fabrications. Their lies are often unnecessary and gratuitous. While genuine souls typically lie only when they feel cornered or are trying to protect someone, soulless individuals will lie about trivial matters for no apparent reason. They might fabricate stories about their background, exaggerate experiences, or create fictional accomplishments simply because deception feels as natural to them as breathing. More disturbing is their ability to lie about their own feelings and experiences. They can convincingly claim to love someone while feeling absolutely nothing, or express remorse for harmful actions while planning to repeat them. Because they don't experience authentic emotion, they can manipulate emotional language without any of the energetic signatures that usually accompany genuine feeling. You'll also notice they show no interest in truth for its own sake. While genuine souls are often driven by curiosity, the desire to understand reality, or the need for authentic connection through honest communication, soulless individuals view truth only as it serves their immediate purposes. They have no philosophical relationship with honesty, no spiritual connection to the concept of truth as a sacred value. Perhaps most chilling is their complete absence of conscience regarding their deception. They feel no remorse when their lies are discovered, no shame about betraying trust, and no motivation to change their behavior. They might apologize if it serves their purposes, but these apologies are as hollow as their original deceptions. If this message resonates with your soul, leave a like so more consciousnesses can awaken to this spiritual truth. The third trait that consistently identifies soulless individuals is their parasitic approach to relationships and energy. Dolores work revealed that because these beings lack the internal spiritual sustenance that comes from soul connection to source, they must extract energy from those around them to maintain their functioning. This energy harvesting is often subtle and sophisticated. Unlike the obvious energy vampires who drain you through drama and chaos, soulless individuals have perfected more insidious methods of extraction. They position themselves as helpers, advisors, or even spiritual teachers, creating relationships where others become dependent on their guidance, while unknowingly feeding them emotional and spiritual energy. You'll notice that interactions with them leave you feeling depleted, confused, or somehow diminished, even when the conversation seemed positive on the surface. They have an uncanny ability to redirect conversations back to themselves while making you feel heard and valued. They might offer advice that creates more problems than it solves, ensuring you'll return for more guidance. Their friendships and romantic relationships follow predictable patterns of escalation and extraction. They love bomb intensely in the beginning, overwhelming you with attention and apparent understanding. This creates a strong energetic bond that they can then exploit. Once the connection is established, they begin gradually undermining your confidence, isolating you from other sources of support, and positioning themselves as your primary source of validation. What's particularly insidious is their ability to identify and target your spiritual gifts and authentic soul qualities. If you're naturally empathetic, they'll present scenarios that trigger your compassion while draining your emotional resources. If you're intuitive, they'll create confusion that makes you doubt your inner knowing. If you're generous, they'll find ways to extract your resources while making you feel selfish for having boundaries. They also demonstrate a complete inability to give without expecting something in return. While genuine souls can offer love, support, or resources freely from an overflowing heart, soulless individuals operate from scarcity consciousness, where every interaction is a transaction. Even their apparent generosity comes with strings attached, creating debt dynamics that they can later exploit. Most revealing is their response when you begin to establish boundaries or reduce their access to your energy. They'll often escalate their demands, create crises that require your intervention, or use emotional manipulation to re-establish the feeding dynamic. They cannot conceive of relationships based on mutual growth and authentic connection because they lack the capacity for such interaction. The fourth identifying trait is their complete absence of spiritual growth or genuine transformation. Throughout Dolores Cannon's extensive research, she consistently found that individuals without souls remain fundamentally static throughout their lives, regardless of their circumstances or the therapeutic interventions they encounter. While genuine souls are constantly evolving, learning from experiences, and gradually expanding their consciousness, soulless individuals demonstrate a remarkable resistance to authentic change. They may learn new behaviors, adopt new belief systems, or even engage in spiritual practices. But these changes remain superficial modifications rather than genuine transformation of their essential being. This becomes apparent when you observe them over extended periods. Their reactions to similar situations remain consistently the same, their emotional responses follow predictable patterns, and their fundamental approach to relationships and life remains unchanged despite apparent growth experiences. They might attend therapy, spiritual workshops, or transformative seminars, but they emerge with new vocabulary and techniques rather than genuine shifts in consciousness. They also demonstrate an inability to learn from consequences in meaningful ways. While they may modify their behavior to avoid negative outcomes, they don't internalize the deeper lessons that experiences offer. A genuine soul who causes harm through their actions will typically feel authentic remorse and develop greater compassion to avoid repeating the harm. Soulless individuals simply become more sophisticated in their approach to achieving the same outcomes without getting caught. Their spiritual seeking, when it occurs, is often focused on acquiring power, techniques for manipulation, or ways to appear more enlightened to others. They may become experts in spiritual terminology and concepts, but these remain intellectual tools rather than lived wisdom. They lack the authentic yearning for connection to Source that drives genuine spiritual evolution. Perhaps most telling is their relationship with suffering and challenge. Genuine souls typically find meaning in difficult experiences, using them as catalysts for growth and deeper understanding. Soulless individuals view suffering purely as something to be avoided or overcome, missing entirely the transformative potential that challenges offer to authentic consciousness. You'll also notice they have no genuine relationship with mystery or the unknown. While genuine souls often feel humility before the vastness of existence and curiosity about life's deeper meanings, soulless individuals approach existence with a mechanical certainty that reveals their disconnection from the profound mysteries that inspire authentic spiritual seeking. Send this video to someone who is seeking spiritual clarity or comfort in their awakening journey. The fifth and perhaps most recognizable trait is their inability to form genuine emotional connections, particularly around love and authentic intimacy. Dolores Cannon's research revealed that soulless individuals fundamentally lack the capacity for the soul-to-soul recognition that creates true bonding between conscious beings. Their version of love is possession, control, or mutual benefit, rather than the expansion of heart and consciousness that characterizes authentic love. They may use all the language of love, perform romantic gestures, and even exhibit what appears to be jealousy or attachment, but these responses are territorial rather than emotionally authentic. In romantic relationships, they often create intense experiences that mimic deep connection. They might seem to understand you perfectly in the beginning, reflecting back your own desires and dreams in ways that feel like spiritual recognition. However, this understanding is based on careful observation and mirroring rather than genuine resonance. They study you like a subject, learning to provide what you need to maintain the connection that feeds their energy requirements. You'll notice that their expressions of love are often conditional and strategic. They withdraw affection when you don't meet their expectations, use love as a reward system for compliance, or threaten abandonment when you establish boundaries. Genuine soul love expands and deepens through challenges, while their version of love contracts and becomes manipulative under pressure. Their sexual energy often feels disconnected from heart and spiritual connection. While they may be technically skilled lovers, the experience lacks the soul communion that transforms physical intimacy into spiritual unity. Many people report feeling lonely or even violated after sexual encounters with soulless individuals, despite the physical interaction being consensual and apparently satisfying. In friendships, they struggle with genuine vulnerability and mutual support. Their friendships tend to be based on shared activities, mutual benefits, or their position as the helper or advisor, rather than authentic emotional bonds. They may have many acquaintances, but few, if any, relationships characterized by genuine mutual understanding and unconditional support. Most significantly, they cannot recognize or appreciate the authentic soul essence in others. While genuine souls often feel immediate recognition or resonance with other conscious beings, soulless individuals view others primarily through the lens of utility, entertainment value, or potential for energy extraction. They miss entirely the sacred nature of consciousness that genuine souls naturally honor in each other. This extends to their relationships with animals, children, and nature. Genuine souls typically feel connection to the life force that animates all beings, while soulless individuals remain disconnected from this universal energy that underlies all authentic relationship. Write in the comments, "Today, I release old patterns and embrace the light of spiritual renewal." Understanding these traits isn't meant to create paranoia or judgment, but to develop spiritual discernment that protects your energy and supports your authentic growth. According to Dolores Cannon's teachings, recognizing soulless individuals allows you to make conscious choices about your interactions rather than unknowingly feeding parasitic dynamics. The first step in dealing with this recognition is accepting that not everyone you encounter will be operating from authentic soul consciousness. This can be initially disturbing for empathetic souls who want to see the best in everyone, but it's essential for spiritual maturity and self-protection. Once you recognize these traits in someone, the most important response is to limit their access to your energy without necessarily creating dramatic confrontations. Soulless individuals often escalate conflicts when they sense their energy source is threatened, so strategic withdrawal is usually more effective than direct confrontation. This means establishing and maintaining strong boundaries around your time, emotional energy, and personal information. Share less of your authentic self with them, limit intimate conversations, and avoid seeking their advice or support for important decisions. Create practical distance while remaining politely neutral in necessary interactions. It's also crucial to strengthen your own spiritual practice and connection to Source when you realize you've been involved with soulless individuals. Their influence can create confusion about your own intuition and worth, so reconnecting with your authentic spiritual guidance helps restore clarity and confidence. Remember that their presence in your life may have served a purpose in your soul's evolution. Perhaps you needed to develop stronger boundaries, learn to trust your intuition, or release people-pleasing patterns that made you vulnerable to manipulation. Finding the growth opportunity doesn't mean you should continue the relationship, but it helps you integrate the experience constructively. Surround yourself with genuine souls who recognize and appreciate your authentic nature. These relationships will feel dramatically different, more effortless, mutually supportive, and energizing rather than draining. Trust the contrast to help you develop better discernment for future relationships. Thank the greater plan by leaving your like as a sign of connection and gratitude for receiving this spiritual message. It's important to understand that according to Dolores Cannon's research, soulless individuals aren't necessarily evil or consciously malicious. They're operating according to their nature and programming, much like any other life form. However, recognizing their fundamental difference from genuine souls allows you to interact with appropriate awareness rather than expecting authentic reciprocity that they cannot provide. Some spiritual teachers suggest that these beings serve important functions in the cosmic order, perhaps as challenges that help genuine souls develop strength and discernment, or as placeholders in human society while souls are incarnated elsewhere. Regardless of their cosmic purpose, your responsibility is to your own spiritual evolution and protection. This knowledge also helps explain why some people seem immune to spiritual awakening or genuine personal growth, despite exposure to transformative information and experiences. Understanding that not everyone has the same spiritual capacity can help you release frustration and focus your energy on those who can genuinely benefit from your gifts and insights. The key is developing what Dolores Cannon called spiritual discernment, the ability to sense the authentic soul presence in others while maintaining compassion for all beings. This discernment becomes especially important as consciousness shifts accelerate and the differences between soul-driven and non-soul-driven individuals become more pronounced. As you continue your own spiritual journey, use this information as a tool for greater awareness rather than a source of fear or separation. The ability to recognize authentic soul consciousness helps you find your true spiritual family, those beings who share your commitment to genuine growth, love, and service to the greater good. Remember that genuine souls are also evolving and learning, so someone might display some of these traits temporarily due to trauma, spiritual immaturity, or difficult circumstances. The difference is that authentic souls show genuine change over time, demonstrate real remorse for harmful actions, and maintain some capacity for selfless love even in their darkest moments. Trust your intuitive knowing above all else. If something feels wrong about someone's energy despite their perfect presentation, honor that feeling. If interactions consistently leave you drained or confused, pay attention to that pattern. Your soul knows authentic consciousness when it encounters it, and learning to trust this recognition is essential for spiritual maturity. Comment: I align myself with purposes of good and continue firmly on my journey of elevation. As we conclude this deep exploration into recognizing soulless individuals, remember that this knowledge serves your spiritual protection and evolution rather than creating judgment or fear. Dolores Cannon's research provides a framework for understanding the different types of consciousness that exist on our planet, allowing you to navigate relationships with greater wisdom and discernment. The 5 traits we've explored: lack of genuine empathy, casual relationship with deception, parasitic energy dynamics, absence of spiritual growth, and inability to form authentic connections, serve as reliable indicators when consistently present together. Trust these observations while maintaining compassion for all beings, knowing that everyone is playing their role in the cosmic dance of consciousness evolution. Your recognition of these patterns indicates your own spiritual awakening and developing discernment. Use this awareness to protect your energy, choose your relationships consciously, and focus your love and support on those who can genuinely receive and reciprocate authentic connection. The journey of spiritual awakening involves learning to recognize truth in all its forms, both the beautiful truth of authentic soul consciousness and the challenging truth that not all beings operate from the same level of awareness. Both recognitions serve your evolution toward greater love, wisdom, and spiritual maturity. As you continue forward, trust your intuitive knowing. Maintain strong boundaries with those who would drain your energy and open your heart fully to the genuine souls who cross your path. These authentic connections will nourish your spirit and support your continued growth in ways that no relationship with a soulless individual ever could. The world needs conscious souls like you to recognize truth, maintain energetic clarity, and demonstrate what authentic human consciousness looks like. By protecting your own spiritual energy and discerning between authentic and inauthentic consciousness, you contribute to the elevation of awareness on our planet. Have you experienced relationships that left you questioning reality or feeling energetically drained? Share your insights about recognizing authentic versus performative behavior in the comments below. Your experiences may help other souls navigate their own recognition journey. Right. I accept this spiritual guidance and move forward with courage and faith. Continue expanding your consciousness with the recommended videos that will deepen your understanding of spiritual discernment and authentic soul recognition.